wait to see what the proposals are today. And we've had the government spent the last 48 hours flying so many different kites about proposals. I think we're going to wait to see those proposals if they're published today. You guys probably know more than that than we do. I gather you had a briefing this morning with the Minister. When we see the proposal, then I'll reflect on those proposals and discuss it internally with my colleagues.
You don't have a stance then on whether you think the suicide is...
No, we've always said that we'll wait to see the specific proposals, and that continues to be the way. I think we've only a few hours left, and once we see those, then we'll reflect on it.
See no proposals of your own.
No, I want to see, Arthur, the actual proposals. This has been in the mix for so long now. I want to see the specific proposals at the government. I have a duty to come forward with proposals, and once we see those, I'll reflect on them.
So you're the main opposition party. You know, I mean, this debate is going on for decades, as you know.
What we've said is we have to, it's important, that the life of the woman be protected. But we have always said we want a constructive debate. We will offer a constructive debate when we see the proposals. That has been our view since this, really came up last November. It remains our view for another 2 or 3 hours if we see the proposals today.
So it seems, though, that you have a more conservative approach than what's being mooted, the suicide, that it should be considered.
We don't know what's being mooted.
The Supreme Court, the ex-case.
Let's see what the specific proposals are today. As we have consistently said, we will be looking to ensure the life of the mother is protected. But the specific proposals are a few hours away. We will comment them on when they come.
If you twice remarked about the protection of the life of the mother, you're still a pro-life party, aren't you, by motions adopted?
Yes, absolutely. And that remains our ethos. But look, we'll see the specific proposals will be published, maybe today, maybe this day week, and we will have the debate over the course of those motions at the weekend, and that will feed our policy.
But Dara, it's extraordinary that you don't have your own position on this. Regardless of whatever happens today or next week, even Sinn Féin are very clear on where they stand.
I don't think they are, Ursula.
Their official position is clear.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of divides in Sinn Féin.
Is there division within Fianna Fáil?
No, Ursula, we've made it very clear all along in this. We will look at the proposals when they come today. If they come today, Billy Gallagher will respond later on this evening, and we will have consultation with our members. We'll see what our members say. And, the one thing we've tried to do since we started this road of renewal is to involve the members in as far as we can. And when we don't have anything specifically to involve them in, it's very difficult to consult with them. So we will do that as soon as we have the proposals.
Is it the case that you can't articulate a policy here because the party is unable to have a policy? The party was in power for most of the period since the ex-judgment and failed to deal with it.
No, Arthur, we did put forward a series of proposals. We put forward a referendum in 2002, so this notion that it wasn't dealt with is wrong. But what we have said is we will not talk about a vacuum, we will talk about proposals in fairness to everybody involved in this debate. And when we see the proposals, we will comment on them. Niamh? Sorry, you? That's right. So that's, the proposals that has been consistently our line since November. They're imminent, I gather, either this week or next week, and we'll comment on them then.
Sure, but on the principle is the point we're talking about here. Does the party believe that the ex-case judgment should be A, ignored, B, legislated for, or C, a referendum held on such?
Again,
and that's nothing to do with proposals coming from government. That is, your party has lots of positions on things that there's nothing coming forward. Proposals coming. For example, I'll chuck one back at you. Gay marriage. Your party leader has repeatedly said that your party was in favour of same-sex marriage. Your party enunciated this policy at the Constitutional Convention. Your party passed a motion at your Ardèche last year. So you have a position on gay marriage. Now, there is no legislation proposed by government on gay marriage. They haven't said if they're going to hold a referendum on gay marriage. There is no policy from government on gay marriage, yet your party has a position. We then come to abortion and you claim, no, I have to wait until the legislation comes forward.
In relation to the specific question in the ex-case, we said that it has to be dealt with. Absolutely.
How?
Well, we want to see what the positions are today. We'll see what they are. We will very much articulate our position. We said it has to be dealt with. We said, we've made this very clear since the outset of this issue that it has to be dealt with.
But you're telling us that there's no division within the party about what approach you would adopt.
Look, it's not. I'm not saying there's no division. It's very clear in that. Yes, there is. There's different views on it. I want to be very clear in that. There's very different views in this room. There's different views in every part of
But
this
isn't
country.
that why you're so shy of spelling out your own position?
No, because we're having, we will have discussions around it when we have specific things in front of us. And, we will articulate a position once they're there. The weekend, the fact that we're putting 4 motions up for discussion at the weekend shows that we want full discussion within the broad membership of the party. Once we have that discussion, we'll articulate a position.
How long will it take for the party to reflect and come up with a position?
I think we'll, as soon as we see specific proposals and following on the weekend's debate, we'll come with something very quickly. I don't want to put a timeline on it, but we'll come with something very quickly.
And just as a matter of interest, was there all these motions on abortion at the weekend appeared to be taking, as you say, your pro-life party, they're all taking very pro-life stances. Was there any motions put forward by your party organisation that was going in the opposite direction, saying that you should be, for debate, or you should be going in a different direction? No.
No, they would have been put on the floor if they were.
Yeah, so the only conclusion I can draw on is only from these 4 that the party grassroots are still very much of a pro-life mindset.
Very much so, yeah, but the party is, very pro-life. And we've made no bones about that consistently throughout this debate. But, there's a lot of people, until we see the specific proposals that come, we're not going to move that on.
But it's perfectly clear that there is going to be legislation. Are you in favour, and you even say that whether you are in favour or not of the basic principle of the government enacting legislation on this important matter?
Well, I think that, I think we've had referendums, it didn't bring any clarity to the situation. And I think legislation is the way to go. But I'm not going to comment on legislation. There's going to be legislation, a lot of things are out there. And we're not, you're going to have legislation on the time of the day of the week.
Okay, so you say legislation is the way to go. What should that legislation include, in your opinion?
I'll wait, Arthur, to see the proposals, and I'm not commenting beyond that.